morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News, dateline 30th of March 2023. Some news stories develop very rapidly, and Global Atheist News responds with these short midweek bulletins. On Saturday, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak met Benjamin Netanyahu at Downing Street as the Israeli leader was facing domestic turmoil over his judicial reforms. The reforms include plans that would give the government decisive control over the committee which appoints judges. Mr. Sunak greeted Mr. Netanyahu outside number 10 before talks over security and the threat from Iran. Hundreds of protesters gathered at the gates of Downing Street to demonstrate against the Israeli PM's policies. There was a cacophony, including shouts of shame and traitor, as Mr. Netanyahu made the short walk from his convoy to the steps of number 10. A planned photo opportunity for the media at the start of the talks was cancelled, and there was no joint statement. The visit came at a time of political turmoil in Israel, when the country being gripped by months of some of the biggest demonstrations in its history. Mr. Netanyahu had defied calls to scrap a shake-up of the legal system amid warnings that the crisis is not only causing social upheaval, but could harm Israel's security. Growing numbers of military reservists were refusing to serve in protest. By Monday, tens of thousands of people had taken to the streets across Israel after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fired his defense minister. Yoav Gallant had spoken out against controversial plans to overhaul the judicial system, and in Jerusalem, police and soldiers used water cannon against demonstrators near Mr. Netanyahu's house. Early on Monday morning, Israel's President Isaac Herzog called on the government to halt the reforms. For the sake of the unity of the people of Israel, for the sake of responsibility, I call on you to stop the legislative process immediately, he said on Twitter, adding that the eyes of all the people of Israel are on you. The US also said it was deeply concerned about the developments and called for a compromise. See this video.
We are going to protect the democracy. We are here for the democracy. Bibi is not here for the democracy.
Feels to many people here like a turning point. It feels like a moment when Benjamin Netanyahu needs to try and keep this country in order.
Later on Monday, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu temporarily suspended his plans for judicial reform after his coalition partner announced that a deal has been struck to keep the governing coalition together. In a televised address to the Israeli people, Netanyahu quoted the biblical story of King Solomon to emphasize that the country should come together and celebrate Pesach instead of allowing the discord to continue. Protesters and supporters of Netanyahu's government gathered in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in their thousands, with their organizers signaling that the brief respite in the bill's process through the Knesset would not mean the end of their protests. Itamar Ben-Gvir, the controversial national security minister from the Otzma Yehudit party, the fundamentalist right-wing end, announced this afternoon that he would continue to support Netanyahu's coalition after previously threatening to walk out if the judicial reform bill was paused or suspended. Meanwhile, in Canada, A rail company apologised after a staff member in Ottawa said that a Muslim was bothering customers by praying. Ahmed told the BBC of his shock at the tense interaction inside the train station in the Canadian capital. See this video.
Is this a nightmare? Like, am I really going through this?
Don't bring here. We don't want you bringing here. You're bothering our other customers, okay?
One person had anything to say. Not one person had anything to say.
There's not one person I went to the end of the hallway. Not one person had anything to say. Not one person had anything to say. Pray outside next time, okay? In the cold, when I'm inside here. Pray outside. No. I'm going to complain to your employer. Go ahead.
I came right here, okay, with my prayer mat. I laid it out flat. Okay, I'm right here, okay? Boom. Empty. What was I doing that was so wrong? I don't understand. How is, like, this is Canada?
I was just so in shock at the fact that, like, what made you come with that confidence to speak to me like that? That could have been anybody, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, whatever your faith, whatever your religion may be, that could have been you.
In the cold, when I'm inside here.
Willingly, you should put in a multi-faith room and be proud of it. So all religions, all faiths can be able to practice freely and really just be Canadians.
And thank you for watching. Watch the roundup on Saturday, where we put all the news of the week together.